So as not to appear too inchoate, Toastmaster actually has manuals with the criteria for evaluators to consider while providing feedback. And it's also used by the speakers themselves to understand the purpose and key points of the speech. So I use that, as many of us do. Rick was speaking from a specialty speeches manual, which is an advanced manual. He's completed the Confident Communicator plus several other milestones. And this obviously is a tough speech because you have to prepare in advance for up to 5 different topics that you could be asked for. And Rick did a very good job with that. I especially liked a couple of things. Number one, your introduction was interesting. You said something about 7 score and 7 years ago, and compared it to 4 score, which was used by Lincoln at the Gettysburg Address. So you caught up my attention then, and because the subject was so large, you didn't overwhelm us with key things or battles. You very narrowly focused on the Gettysburg Address, and you had a message for us as well. And I like that. It was very focused to the Gettysburg Address, and you demonstrated through your preparation and notation of the facts that you understood the circumstances surrounding that. I especially like the fact that you did comparison. What would it be, or you rhetorically asked folks, what would America think if we had this kind of casualties today? So that was good. You got us thinking. The humor was good. You referenced to back in, for those of you who were here in 1976, you used the word of the day, which kind of yucks. A couple of areas that I'd like to see you focus on, probably refocus on. Number one, try to move with purpose. You've heard that term before, but basically, if you're going to move and talk about a subject in one spot, and then if you're going to change subjects, move to another and talk about it again, so that you separate the two. You sort of wandered, I thought at times you wandered around a bit. Number two, to the extent possible, try to clear your throat, because that was a little distracting, but that may not be possible, sporting a cold. And number three, try to avoid, I don't think you can actually prevent it, avoid saying things, well, I don't remember his name. Because that fact was not as important. What was important, and you illustrated it well, was how the time of that era, it was customary for people to give 2 to 3 hour speeches. And you sensed that you got across the point that obviously in the 260 words, he defined the moment in our history. And you made that point very well too. So I think on a positive note, you were very focused and you clearly stated your opinion, which is based on fact, that this is a defining moment in our history. So all in all, a very good speech. I think a lesson for all of us is, even if you're going to go into a situation, think about when in advance you might be called upon. So even though it is impromptu, you have some idea what you're going to say in advance, be it a funeral, wedding, or impromptu speaking. Madam General Manager.